Oh. No. Wait, what is up, guys? Look, we got to do the face cam today because Boku no Hero episode 16. Bro, let me just state that there is never a dull moment in Boku no Hero, bro. This anime, oh my goodness, it's insane. I need to catch up in the manga, but it's just so much farther ahead. But I'm almost there. I'm catching up. But anyways, Boku no Hero episode 16 was freaking lit, boys. It was lit. Let me tell you, like, man, there was just so... Oh, I don't even know how to explain it. There was just so much going on. Like, I'm not gonna review the whole episode like I usually do. I'm trying to not condense it, but kind of just focus on the main points that I thought was interesting. But basically, like in the episode, I don't know where to start. I mean, I guess we can start where Endeavor was not Endeavor. Gran Torino was he kicked the Nomu out and out of the train in the previous episode, and now it goes in this episode, and he's kind of like fighting him and trying to stop him from attacking citizens and whatnot. And Endeavor shows up, and he's just like, honored old hero or whatever, old man, step aside, I got this. Move aside, I got this, bro, I got this. And Gran Torino's just like, why is Endeavor here or whatever? And it just shows Endeavor like kind of burning the Nomu and getting ready to he's about to throw them hands, bro. He's getting ready to throw them hands. But after that, Midoriya is kind of running around. He finds the other two Nomus in the city. He sees pro heroes trying to stop him. And he sees Manuel, and he's like calling out for Idia. And he's like, where's Idia? Idia ran away? Like, punctual Idia? He would never do something like that. And then he finally puts two to two together. He's like, Hosu City, Killer Stain, Idia, Ignium. And he's like, oh no, like, there's only one reason why he wouldn't be here. He found Stain. And so Midoriya, he puts all that together real quickly. He's running around the city or whatnot. Using his brains, he's like, the only place Killer Stain, his victims are in like small secluded places like alleyways. So he searches all the alleyways and whatever, and he finds Idia in them. Idia was busy getting his ass beat by Stain at this time. He got stabbed in both arms. First he gets stabbed in one arm, then he gets stabbed in the other arm. Like, Stain was not playing around when he was saying, I'm gonna kill you. Like, he was just like, let me just stab you real quick, and then let me just stab you in the other arm. And Idia's paralyzed because that's Stain's quirk. He's paralyzed, he can't move at the moment. And so right before Stain gets ready to kill Idia, it comes in at the most badass way. He's using his quirk now, like even better than he was before, and it's so cool. Like, he comes in with full cow, comes in straight away and punches Stain in the face with full cow. He punches him. He hits him with smash, and right before he's about to slice and dice Idia's head off. And it was cool because it shows him like running later on in the episode. It shows him like when he found him. It shows him running, and he like, as soon as he turns and he sees the alley, he just like jumps off the walls and punches him. It was so, like, the animation, it was so clean, bro. It was so nice. But Midoriya enters with full cow, and he's talking to Idia and he's talking to Stain, and behind his back, he has his phone out, and he sends like kind of like a distress signal, or he just sends his address. I don't know. He like puts it on like an alert page or something, I guess. Like it's used for heroes to see or whatever. But anyways, that's what he uses. And he calls out like a little distress signal, and he's like, I gotta hold out till pro hero gets here. And he uses full cow, and he's going to attack Stain, and Stain pulls out a little dagger that he's gonna try and slice and get Midoriya, try and cut him so he can paralyze him. And Midoriya he like slides under him with full cow. He's kind of, it says that he's maneuvering like Bokugo was when he uses his quirk. He like slides under and then jumps up using full cow, and then he uses Detroit Smash at 5%, and it'll just like knock Stain in the head. I was like, bro, when did Midoriya become, like, he was always a badass, but he's getting lit. So Midoriya, he punches him in the head, and Stain's just like, okay, bet, bet. Like, he's still, he's still standing. He's staying. He ain't even about that. But Midoriya gets slightly cut on his right arm, when he went to slide under that knife that Stain pulled out, slightly cut him, and then Stain like licks the blood off, and boom, Midoriya's paralyzed just like that. And so, they're talking a bit and whatnot, and Shota finally appears. Shota comes through. He's like, Midoriya, you gotta put more info when you send out these distress. And Midoriya's just like, wait, why is Shota's here too? Like, what the heck? Shota appears, and he's like, yeah, I'm responding to the distress signal. It's not normal of you to put out your location with, like, not saying any details or anything. And so Midoriya's on the ground, Edie's on the ground, and that bird hero from last episode who Stain was getting ready to kill is on the ground, and they're all paralyzed. And Midoriya is just like, be careful, don't get cut by his swords. Don't get cut by his swords, because that's how we got paralyzed, or so they thought. And Shota's like, got it, don't get cut. It's my turn to, to show Stain who the real boss man is. And so Shota uses his ice. He brings those three on the ground closer to him while pushing Stain back with his fire, and they're kind of going at it. And then Stain throws his knives. He throws like a knife at Shoto's face, and it cuts him. And as soon as like it cuts him, Stain jumps. He throws his sword up as well, and he goes in and he tries to like lick Shota's face, which was really weird. He tries to like lick his face to try and get that blood so he can paralyze him, because that's actually how his quirk works. If he tastes your blood, you get paralyzed for a certain amount of time depending on your blood type, which they find out later. And Shota, of course, uses his fire. Get off me, boy. You ain't licking me. He said, get off me. Uses his fire, and Stain backs off. And Stain gets ready to. He jumps with his sword. His little rigged sword. He jumps with his sword, and he gets ready to kill the bird guy. He's like, okay, well, if I'm not going to get you, I'm just going to get this guy who's incapacitated on the ground. And he jumps and he kills to kill the bird guy. When Shota was trying to stop him, he was going to use his fire or whatnot. He throws like 2 knives into his arm, and his fire stops. And so he jumps and he's getting ready to kill the bird hero from the previous episode. And Midoriya is already back in action. He jumps up and he grabs Stain, and he like drags him across the wall, bro. He drags him across the alleyway wall, and he's just like, no fucks even. He's just like, I got this. He just full count grabs him and drags him against the wall like he's like the Juggernaut or something. And I was like, bro, it was so dope. Like, that was, oh man, it was just so clean how they made it. And so he grabs him, drags him across the wall, and he kind of throws him back or whatever. And Midoriya and Shota are talking, and Midoriya is like, well, we're going to have to hold out until a pro hero arrives, to save our hands, because, Stain's roughing us up. And the reason why Midoriya was up before everybody else was that they discovered, because Stain did tell him as well, that that Stain's quirk, whenever he licks their blood, they get paralyzed for a certain amount of time, and depending on your blood type, the time is either longer or shorter, and O type is the shortest duration it has, and Midoriya's O type. And then the bird guy was B type, which was the longest, and then Idia was A type, which was like second or third shortest or longest or whatever. But they get ready, and they're like, we gotta hold him off until a pro hero comes. And then so Midoriya goes in, and he's like, Shota, you support me because you already lost too much blood. I'll go in. And Shota's like, that's bold, bro. That's okay, I got you. I'll support you. And so Midoriya goes in, and they're fighting Stain, and Shota's there supporting him while he has like a flashback about his mother and Endeavor and whatnot. Which, by the way, Endeavor was pretty dope when he was like, regarding these incidents in the Hosu City, I predict that, something's gonna go on, He's just like, of course, he predicts exactly right because he's the number 2 hero. He's all smart. And he was like, I predict that something's gonna go down soon in Hosu City, so we'll go and we'll take a little trip there. And so that basically explained why Shoto and Endeavor were there. But anyways, Midoriya goes in and Shota goes in, they're fighting. Shoto's supporting him, and Midoriya gets cut again. So he's down, he gets cut, and Stain tastes that blood, and Shota's still up, kind of like holding him back. And Edie is like sitting there crying. He's like, why are you guys stop, stop. This is my fight. Stop. No, stop. No, stop. He's kind of sitting there just crying and whatnot. And Shota's like, well, if this is your fight, get up already. And like, the episode just kind of ends there. He's just like, Shota looks down on him. He's like, get up. And kind of ends with Edia's face kind of just like, no, stop, no, stop. No, it's like he ends kind of wide-eyed, like he's getting ready to get up and do something, but he's, which I would think he could move by now because he's been there twice as long as, Midoriya on the ground, and I think he was the next blood type to get up, his blood type is the next fastest or whatever, so I think it's time for him to get up. So maybe he's just chilling. Maybe he just can't. Maybe he's still paralyzed. I don't know. I personally think that he was just sitting there chilling, lost of will. He lost his will to get up and think. But I don't know. Maybe it's probably he's probably still just paralyzed and just made it a little bit longer or whatever. But anyways, that was the end of episode 16. If you haven't watched it yet, which you probably have if you're watching this video. Oh man, you gotta watch it because it was so clean. The fight scenes, man, this is one of my favorite episodes. I say that about every episode, but man, it was clean. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the videos as normal. Like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys later. Deuces.